Bad news for international students wanting to come to Australia. In today's video update, we will talk about the flights to Australia, which is expected to get more expensive for international students. According to the most recent sources, foreign airlines are considering leaving the nation, even as the Australian border is reopened. This may result in fewer flights for overseas students, which will certainly raise ticket rates in the following months. As Australia begins to plan for life after obtaining herd immunity, which is expected in December 2021, the airline industry is urging more planning for resuming international travel. So far, the federal government's proposal to restore Australian borders includes travel bubbles with Singapore, the Pacific Islands, Japan, South Korea, the United Kingdom, and the United States. This would allow Australians who visit certain locations to be quarantined upon their return. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison previously stated that the national plan enables states with at least 80% of their adults properly vaccinated to resume foreign travel, even if other jurisdictions have not. The continuous increase in vaccinations implies that New South Wales and Victoria may reach 80% by November 2021, but Queensland and Western Australia may need to wait until December. Now, let's briefly discuss if it will become more difficult to cross the Australian border. International flights are extremely expensive to operate. They have significant operational expenses. As fewer individuals fly on these routes, the remaining passengers are obliged to shoulder the increased expenses. As a result, each foreign flight that lands in Australia are currently experiencing a $5,000 Australian dollar loss. According to the Australian Airports Association, some foreign airlines are either already reducing capacity or preparing to depart entirely from Australian ports. Along with the Sydney Airport, that airlines require extensive preparation before restarting regular flights. So far, the federal government has not supplied enough information about reopening Australian borders, complicating the problems for these airlines. Australian Airports Association stated that, because the aviation sector has extensive lead periods for carriers and airports to re-establish international routes, considerable preparation will need to take place now to guarantee airports and airlines are ready. Sydney Airport stated it is critical that Australia must stay in the thoughts of airline network planners, so they need to be detailing what reopening in Australia looks like now. Furthermore, Trade and Tourism Minister Dan Tehan suggested that strong demand for flights might result in lengthier wait times for Australians, particularly those who needed to renew their passport. He stated that, while the department is doing all possible to prepare, longer than usual processing delays cannot be ruled out. He further added that, once an individual is completely vaccinated, it's time to dust off their passport and double-check that it's still valid. Vaccination certificates are being prepared. According to AAA CEO James Goodwin, without a federal government strategy, foreign carriers may be forced to stop operations until 2023 if they don't know what the regulations or standards would be for Australia 8 or 9 months from now. He suggested that, even if they're talking about opening in the middle of next year, those talks need to start now. Fiji Airways has indicated that it would resume flights to Australia in December 2021. Hawaiian Airlines will also fly into Sydney and Brisbane in time for Christmas. Vaccination certificates are one of the steps that will make international travel easier, as they will reduce the danger of cross-border flights. Australia intends to adopt vaccination certificates beginning in October 2021. Currently, vaccines from AstraZeneca, Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson are recognized, and the Therapeutic Goods Administration is examining different varieties from other nations. While New South Wales has implemented a strategy for completely vaccinated individuals, Western Australia has been chastised for its cautious approach. The latter has declared that its border with neighbouring state New South Wales will remain closed throughout Christmas, even to vaccinated individuals. This is the end of today's video update. We hope you found this video update useful. Thanks for watching. End speech.